The FINDHORN Foundation in the north of Scotland is a center of spiritual service in co-creation with nature, which emphasizes education and community. The FINDHORN Foundation is at the heart of one of the best-known intentional communities in the world, and is a major international center of adult educational, personal, and spiritual transformation. About 14,000 visitors a year come to the foundation in one of the many ways that it is possible to visit, live, and work there. Eckhart Tolle gave a weekend retreat in the Universal Hall to a group of over 300 people. This is a record of that event. Welcome to our weekend retreat. At this beautiful sacred place. Our theme for this weekend is stillness. Which is inseparable from who you are in the depth of your being. One could say, everybody is still already. The stillness is already there. It does not need to be found, even. Certainly it does not need to be created. Because it's already there. The only thing is, you may not notice it. If there's a lot of mental noise, then you just don't notice it, that it's there. And also you don't notice a dimension within yourself that is far deeper than the movement of thought.
And your whole identity is then bound up with the movement of thought. A mind-created sense of self. A personal history and no more. That is soon coming to an end. Soon, next year or in 40, 50 years' time, it's soon. So who you are and stillness are one and the same. And if you have not yet gone completely mad in this mad world, that means you have some access to the stillness inside you. You may not remember it afterwards because it's not memorable, since stillness is timeless and the mind cannot memorize it or think, oh, that was interesting, I'll remember that, because stillness is not interesting. Interesting is a mental thing. Just as our weekend here is not going to be interesting. You may have noticed that already. But interesting is not the ultimate. It's only the ultimate to the human mind. You can go out here and look at a tree or a flower or the sunset, and could you say, this sunset is interesting? Only if you were trying to write a PhD about sunsets. If you had to analyze it, or the oak tree becomes interesting the moment you start to analyze it mentally. And there is a place for that also in this dimension. But if you get caught up on that dimension only, where you break things up into little bits and pieces and analyze them, and by the way, most kinds of analysis, you have to kill the thing first before you can analyze it, or in the process of analysis it gets killed. But if you just be with the oak tree, contemplate it, truly look, then what you're looking at goes beyond interesting, is far deeper than interesting. The same as the sunset. There's nothing interesting about it, and yet it is awe-inspiring. It is deep. There's a depth there that defies analysis by the mind. And the moment you analyze it, you have reduced it to something lifeless. And most people in our civilization, and this has been going on for a long time, are trapped in that dimension where compulsively they go about their life analyzing, interpreting, and labeling things as soon as they enter their field of consciousness. They do it to people, they do it to situations that they encounter, immediately have some personal reactive relationship to it. They do it to nature, and they can no longer perceive the sacredness that is there in nature, because they approach it only through thinking. And that is a dreadful prison that you then end up in,